Fly Mackey here with Smart Money Culture TV, and we're broadcasting live from the reservation here at Grandma's house. So I got me a little room back here, and we put up some cameras and lights, and we're using this as a studio today. We're going to do a little work back here so that we can actually use it. All right. But a lot of things going on with Bitcoin. Let's take a look real quick. By the way, good morning, Corpus Christi in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. We're broadcasting live into your homes. Man, what a joy to do that. Thank you for joining us and stay with us. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and let's see what's going on here. I'm going to do some basic. Now we're you see here. Now you see what's going to happen. And we've been charting this out in a very uh, amateur uh, format, but I want to show you what this looks like here. And let's just take a look at where I think this is going. Okay. And by the way, we've been doing this a long time, but we try to keep it as simple as possible. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Okay. You can take the hyacinth right there from the very high. Even though this is a candle, red candle, we're taking it from the very tip of that because that was the all-time high at the $73,000 mark. And then you could take it to that tip right there. Okay. And then that sent your benchmark for where it's going on the highs. Now we could add in earlier highs, but let's just stick to this one. And this one was on March 14th. So this is the data from March 14th. You could also take this, and there's lots of different ways to look at this. You could take this down here, show that it's going a wide, this is a wide cone reaching out, but I don't think so. I want to take this from the all-time high, and I want to bring it down to today. And you can take a look at, well, that's probably the better route there. You could also take a look right here. Yeah, no, that's not the good one. You could probably look right here. No, there. Maybe. Probably not. See, the goal, what you want to do when you're charting, is in the simplest way, look for the trends of where this thing is heading. Now, if I want to stay more pure, this is the way we're going to go right here, okay? Because it hit the top of this one, all-time high. It hit this one here on May 21st. And then it hit the top of this one right on the 29th of July. And as you can see, it's been in a descending mode since. Now, if you take this one right here and you pull this up right here, you see how it hits the bottom of all these? It hit the bottom of this one here on March 5th, hit the bottom of this one on May 1st, hit the bottom of this one on May 5th, July 5th. And then here, it went through here, but it's been traveling in this channel in a descending mode. Yeah. Here's another channel you could look at where it hit the bottom of this channel here, right there, hit the bottom of that channel, hit the bottom of this one here on May 2nd, where it was trying to go down through here and go through this lane. This is the lane, and this is the channel, the lane line. This is out of bounds, so to speak, when you get out of your lane. And you hit the bottom of this one, hit the bottom of this candle here where the sellers tried to have their way, but the buyers won out that day. That was on the 8th of July. But you see here, that's a more pure, even channel. Doesn't really work that way, but you can see the channel and it's descending. You see that? and there's a lot of different correlations to this, but it looks like uh, what happened here, what happened here, what happened here, 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 and here is fixing to happen again. We'll see. So that happened once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and this will be the 5th time right here. And then I think it looks like we're going to wind up coming down to a point here. Yeah, it's coming to a point here where it's it's descending, but you can see it. It's a clear picture that it's going down, and this is not going up. Now, can it go up? Oh yeah. Will it go up? Oh yeah. But we're fixing to come into October, and October is October. And anybody in the crypto world knows what that means. That means that we are going to have some fun. And usually Bitcoin has really does quite a number. But you see here, this is the ascending line. If it continues to go, this is the direction right here. Now this is the bottom part of this. The more pure would be here. And that would probably be the better one right there. Just getting the angle of where this thing is traveling. You see here, it's traveling above this. I got the dogs with me. It's traveling this line right here, and I think we're definitely going to see some all-time highs. When? I don't know. But the big boys and the big girls, I'm talking about the Michael Saylors, the U.S. government, China government, who are the biggest holders of Bitcoin. Them, and they're not really dictating what's going on, but what happened is the ETFs. Now that has come in to make a play in what's happening in the crypto world, because people are betting, they're risking billions and billions of dollars on these ETFs on buying Bitcoin. So they don't actually get Bitcoin, but they're buying it and selling it in a way that they're able to leverage and risk. Okay. And they're spending billions and billions of dollars. Now, I think in the last, we could go and look here. Hold on 1 second. How many billions have come into the Bitcoin ETF market? We'll just do a quick look at this. Take a look at this right here. We're going to share this tab right here. Do you see this right here? So we're just Googling it. We know we could go on to the NASDAQ and do that, but let's just, for simplicity's sakes, this was take 50 billion. The first 50 billion has come from people who understand Bitcoin well. Said, no, let me tell you something. Don't buy the news. When you see these buyers don't know Bitcoin, they don't know none of these don't know nothing about the crypto world. Most of these people, okay, I shouldn't say they don't, but these guys are big people with big money, and when they drop billions of dollars, they'll make the market move. They'll make it move, and people follow that, and then they follow the news. Like this guy right here, this article here, where it talks about Bitcoin ETFs take $50 billion baby steps towards big time. And you know, when it started, they had we didn't know whether it was going to be a big success, but $50 billion is a lot. Now, when it gets to a trillion, it needs to get to a couple of trillion, 2 trillion, and then that will set a precedent right there, and it's hard to kill after that. Okay, but basically, what's going to happen here? Well, we'll see what's happening. Let's see what's going to happen, because I think that the big boys and the big girls are going to take this, and Bitcoin is never going to be a currency. You know that now. So they've ruined Bitcoin as a currency. Now they can spin it any way they want, but you can't have people buying it. And you have about 40% of the Bitcoin hodlers. These are people who have mined Bitcoin and or have bought Bitcoin. There's about 40 to 44% of that Bitcoin that you will never ever see, because they're never going to let the institutional guys have it. And this stuff is going to go, and these things are going to be locked up for decades and decades and decades, and there's going to be a lot of trillionaires. I mean, a lot of trillionaires. So hopefully these folks are working something out to where they can leverage themselves long after they're gone. They don't just give it to their stupid kids. Let me tell you something. If we're not teaching our kids about velocity banking right here, and we're not teaching them how to become our own banker, which anybody can do. You don't have to be poor and broke. And I found that the more that I make, the less that I need or even want. And that's not. I don't know how that works out. Although I went through my phase where I had a penthouse and had to have all the the very expensive cars, and I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it quite a bit, and had to have a young and beautiful. I still do. But those days where I learned to enjoy less than more. And I think that's a better strategy for me. Now, I'm not telling any of you guys out there how to live. If you want to spend your money, do it, because we don't take it with it. They say we don't take it with us. I don't know about that. I don't know what the next world is going to have for us. I think I have a good idea, and I think I'd rather have faith in something in the next life than not have any faith at all in it and be wrong about that. Okay, so I have a lot of strong ideas and beliefs on what I want to do and what I'm trying to build. Now, I spent the majority of my life. Now, listen to you guys out there. The majority of my life broke as a joke, dumb as a crumb. I'm not a very good poet, but I spent the majority of my life broke and stupid. And the reason I was stupid, it was because I said this could never be for me. And it wasn't that I was ignorant, because people tried to help me along the way, especially when I was a missionary. I had lots of people that said, hey, you know what? Let us help you along the way. And I finally started taking some help, and I was in my mid 40s at the time, really, really, really broke. And I'm broke now, but in a different way. I think it's better to have leverage with credit, because now you're in the game. If you don't have credit, you're not even in the game. You can use Dave Ramsey's system, but Dave Ramsey's system takes a really long time to get there, and you have to be so disciplined with that. You have to be disciplined with credit too. But there's a lot of great systems out there. You can look up Christopher Noggle. You can look up Christy Van. There's those two right there, Stephen Nagy, and more. And you got the Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and who's a billionaire. He's like 1.2 billion dollars in debt. I think he said he was now, maybe 2.2 billion in debt. And when you're carrying that kind, it's having debt is scary if you're not used to it, because the bills come due. But once you learn how to put your money towards that debt and then pull your bills out, like we showed right here, then all this, you start getting relaxed because of the nature of all that credit that continues to grow. When that happens, it's all over after that. Okay, because once you learn how to use the credit, then there's nothing can stop you. And then once you learn how to become your own banker, okay, so those are some steps to become your banker. By the way, Fly Mackey here. Thank you for joining us here on Smart Money Culture Television Network. And we're coming into your home live in Corpus Christi, Texas, Houston, College Station. Hold on. And where is my that is strange, but this is gonna bug me. Why would that not be there? Oh yeah. Hold on, fellas. This is like 3 months worth of growth. I'm not very good at shaving. And there you go. I had to do that. It was starting to bug me. And there you go. I just shaved myself. I love that. So, what a dummy. So, once you learn these strategies, then anybody can do this. This is not about I had some people on Twitter or X telling me this sounds like a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. It's get rich quick, and you know you can't get rich quick. Never did I mention ever about getting rich. We're talking about getting credit. And when somebody gives you credit and you use it, by the way, dummy, you get in debt. So for those of you out there who think this guy's talking some stupid stuff and it's a get rich quick, no, stupid. You get into debt when you use the credit. Debt. You get it? The question is, what do you do with the debt? So when you learn how to use the debt, then your life will change, because then the difference between the debt and the income and the input and the output is what's called cash flow. And the banks, when times tighten up, for those who do not use their credit, they tighten that credit. For those that don't use their credit cards and their lines of credit, the banks start cutting your lines of credit. Can they do that? Yes, it's their money, not yours. Your name is on the card, guys and gals. Like here, you see here, my name is on the card, Fly Mackey, but this isn't my money. It belongs to the bank. So use it. Use the money. Getting back to the Bitcoin right over here, because the ETFs, I mean, these guys and these gals are the ones who are going to dictate what happens in the market. Okay? Not me and you, but the big boys and the big girls. They are the ones who are going to dictate. And that's the way it works. Okay? And everyone had this dream of how crypto was going to work. But what happened was, people get greedy. And also, too, it's just the natural, I think, advancement of how money works. But the rich are always going to get in it. You're not going to win from the rich because they have trillions and trillions of dollars. And we found that out with the Bud Light and this guy. You have BlackRock, who owns about 31% of the entire world. They own 88% of the NASDAQ, the Fortune 500 companies on the NASDAQ, which is the bulk of the NASDAQ. Okay. So when you have one company that owns 88%, them, Vanguard, and one of the other companies, there's another one that my brain's, but these guys own the majority of the stock market. And when they own 88% of $100 trillion, or 300 trillion. Yes, I said trillion, not billion. It takes 1,000 billion to make a trillion. It takes 1,000 trillion to make a quadrillion. We didn't even know these numbers before. I still don't know it. I still can't fathom because it's too big for us to understand. A million, yeah, I've made it and lost it. And I've made millions and I've lost millions. Let me say this to you guys out there who are looking for credit. Okay. The easiest way to fund your business is with 0% business credit cards. And the banks are dying to give it out. And by the way, you're looking about a year and a couple of months. And then we're going to see some huge market turns. Okay. And I didn't make this stuff up, guys. I'm just a regular Jane and Joe American guy. Okay. I'm just an average American, but I pay attention just like a lot of other people do. And it's so obvious to see. And the trillionaires and the banks and the central banks, and they tell us in advance what's going to happen. It's not like rocket science. They say it's going to happen, and people just say, well, it can't happen. It can't happen. And most of us wait for the emergencies to do anything about what's happening in our life. Hold on one second, guys and gals. We wait for the emergencies before we do anything about what's going on in our life. Why? I don't know, but that's what we do. Anyway, so, well, there's lots of reasons for that. We're not going to get into that today, but we'll bring some experts on and we'll do some interviews on that. So anyway, the if you have credit and you use your credit, then the banks, when they start tightening the belts, they go, well, these are the guys and gals that use the credit. And they're the ones, they know that they're going to have their money flowing like this all the time. Now, also, too, they take advantages of folks who can't pay their bills. They put the pressure on. They start foreclosing on all kinds of loans and stuff like that. And when that happens, they're taking your property. That's the way it happens. Okay. I mean, there was a couple of 100,000. Let's look at the U.S. debt clock. Hold on one second. Let's take a look at that. All right, here's the U.S. debt clock. Let's take a look at this. This is so cool right here. And the U.S. debt clock, you see here, our national debt is 35 trillion 370 billion 287 million and growing. We can look over here on household assets, and I think this may be where U.S. Treasury, uh, savings per family, personal debt, credit card debt, 1,375,000,000,000. Okay, now we're going to get into the home sales. Let's take a look at this, okay? And let's wait for it to. So new homes median price 2009, 2020, 300,000. New homes now in 2023, the average price was 500,000. This year it's come down just a little bit, so that's the average. 2024 is 409,000. Existing home median sale price was, and this is the one you want to really look at right here. Okay, the median. You can look at new sales, but $352,000. And so this calculator right here, we'll get into this someday, but I was looking for the foreclosure numbers. Let's go back here and see if I can find in here. We may have to come back and look at this later. Currency and credit, treasury. Wait, where'd that come from? Debt, non-interest bearing, Kennedy. They changed this up a little bit. This is really cool to look at. Just look at it with me. Look at this. Look at the cost of college tuition now is 26,000, and just 4 years ago it was 10,000 a year. Now it's 26,000 a year. Wow. Full-time workers, labor force, private sector jobs, union median income $39,000. That's the average American make. Median income 39,703. Median income in 2000 was 31,900. Okay, here we go. Can you see this? Take a look at this with me. Let me move this over here. Okay, so you can see this. We're going to look right over here. Take a look at this. Let me get back over there so I can see it better. See this right here? Here is the manufacturing jobs, U.S. bankruptcies. There's 353,000 U.S. foreclosures. That's this year, 121,000. Ooh. You got 44 million people living under that $39,000. I think 39,000 median income. If you make under that median income right here, 39,703. If you're living under that, you're considered living in poverty. We've got 44 million living in poverty under that level. By the way, there's no way you can't make it on that. It's just, it depends on how you decide to live. And once you learn to take this money and use it with velocity banking, then I'm telling you, your life will change around. Matter of fact, we're going to do a little show on this here in just a second here. But look at this right here. So here we are. U.S. drug deaths, 617,000 people that are homeless this year. Yeah, I think that number is a little bit bigger than that. Okay, foreclosures, 121,210. You see that right here? 121,210 foreclosures this year. Okay, all this could have been avoided if they would have learned how to take their own house and become a banker. Now let me get rid of this right here because I want to show you something real quick. I think I have a few minutes, and then we're gonna end it for this morning. I'll come back and talk to you a little bit later. This is some good stuff right here. I should have took a picture of this. We're gonna have a studio here shortly. Remember we were talking about the income? Okay. So you're taking home $39,000. We're talking about take-home pay. Let's divide that by 12. I've got just a few minutes, and then we're going to take this subject up again later. So $39,000, divide that by 12, and you're looking at $3,250 in income per month. Okay, times 12 equals your $39,000 a yearly income. Okay, this is monthly. This is yearly. This is monthly. Okay. All right. So, and let's say you have a mortgage, and your mortgage is, let's say your overall debt is, you can see here where I'm working my, we're going to make this into a little studio. It's going to be so cool. And then we're moving to another one here, I think. Now, when we're in Texas, we have a nice little studio there. Okay. But here, you know, when you're traveling, just like everyone does, they set up in a room somewhere, right? So luckily, you know, they let me do this here at Grandma's. I love it. Okay. Now watch. Let's say let's say your total bills, including your mortgage, is $2,200. Okay. And well, let's just say in this case, we don't even have a mortgage. Let's say you're living in an apartment. Okay. So, apartment living. Okay. And all your bills add up to $2,200 a month. Now, you may be sharing that apartment because a good friend of mine, a young person that I've been mentoring, him and his daughters, his boy and his girl, they live in an apartment downtown, and they pay $2,400, something like that, a month for a one bedroom apartment, but he's sharing it. So that's his cost. And then his friend who lives with him and his kids, um, he pays, I think, another, $2,000 or something. Total is like $3,400. But let's just say this guy, you are sharing a place to live, and your total debt every month is 2,200, and your income is 2,200, and your income is 3,200. So when you do the math on this, and then let's say you have a credit card for 10,000, okay? And let's say you maxed out this credit card. And by the way, just so you know, the interest on a credit card every month on that, let's do the math on that. We're going to run out of time here. I'm going to do a basic, and then we'll come back and do another show, okay? So this is how it works. Let's say this is maxed, credit card maxed, okay? If you would take this pay every month, $3,250, okay, that goes 0, 5, 7, 6, okay? So now you brought the debt down from 10,000 to 6,700, but you're going to borrow. This is you're depositing your check into that. All you're doing is you're taking your check from your checking. People get confused on this all the time. You take your check from your checking account and you make a payment to your credit card. You don't transfer, you don't deposit your money into the credit card. You make a payment towards your credit card for $3,250, your entire check. Okay, now this is a strategy. Then you take your bills. This is what comes out. This is deposit, and this is bills. Okay, your bills are $2,200. Now there's more to this, but I'm going to keep it simple. 0, 5, 9, 8. So now your debt is back up to 8,900. But the difference here in the very first month is $1,050 in cash flow. They call it cash flow or credit, so that you can use this credit anytime you want. That $1,050, you can use it anytime you want. Okay, now hold on a second. The very next month, this is month number 1. In month number 2, you're putting your $3,250 in. That's 0,075, brings that down to 5,700, and then you're going to borrow your bills again, which is 2,200. 0,097, 7,900 at the end of month 2, and you have 2,000. You have $2,100 in cash flow in month number 2. And this is solid money right here. So you don't have to worry. It's not cash, but it's credit that you can use it anytime. You just like you use your debit card every single day. Learn how to use your credit and become your own banker. And this is how you pay off your debt. Let's just do, I think I have another minute here or two, a couple of minutes. So this is month 2. Month 3, you're going to add $32.50 again. And you should always start with your smallest credit cards, pay them down first, then go to the bigger ones. 0, 5, 7, 4, 4,750. That goes in. Now you're going to take your bills out, which is 2,200, which adds to that again, which gives you what? $33,050 in cash flow. This is month number 3. Look at this. So not only did we pay the credit card down, we maxed the credit card. Remember, this credit card is maxed. And you take the card that you just maxed out, you put your entire check into the credit card. So you pay it. Like you pay your bill. You call them up, or you do your bank payment, your bill pay, however you do it, and you say, I want to make a payment. How much is your payment? I want to make a payment for $3,250. That automatically, the very next day when this posts, gives you $3,250 that you can spend. So we're going to spend $2,200 of it, and that's your bills. Don't go around asking people if you can pay your bills with your credit card. When they say, how do you want to pay? Say, I want to use this card right here. When you go online to pay, just put the information in. Don't ask people. They'll put all kinds of restrictions on you for no reason. But look at this. In 3 months, you have $3,000 in credit that you paid down on your card. This is going to take a total of this is going to take a total of about 7 or 8 months, and you're going to have this completely paid off. I could do the math on this, but we're going to lose time here, and I don't want to ask the engineers. I could ask the engineers. I own the network. Do whatever I want. But there's another show coming on here. It's going to be 9 o'clock, 11. The Porter brothers are coming on. So I'm going to say goodbye. God bless you. Fly Mackey here from Smart Money Culture Television Network. If you're looking for credit, okay, and if you're looking for credit repair, if you're looking for some, send us a note. Go to smartmoneyculture.tv/credit and write a note and tell us why you're reaching out to us. If you're looking for credit, don't ask for credit if you have bad credit. You're not going to get it. If your credit score is not good, if you're big in debt, you owe a lot of money, you have no income, you don't have a business LLC, you're not getting it. So don't ask, okay? But you can repair it and you can move towards that. It's one step at a time, all right? That's how it works. Holy cow. Had a little fun today. Bitcoin right here. Let's take a look at that real quick before we head out of here today. 59,000. Look at that. It's going up. $59,412.01 as we speak right this minute. See the trajectory on this? The next high I have this going to is 95,000. Will it hit there? I don't think we're going there. I don't think we're going there now, because we're coming into a month. Now it may surprise us. We'll see. But I do believe we're going to some all-time highs, 84,000, just above 80,000, and I think we're heading to 95,000. The question is when that's going to happen. If you do like Nvidia, if you'd have bought it at 14 cents, it was $119 yesterday. Just do the math on that. It's incredible. All right, guys and gals. See you later. God bless you, Fly Mackie, and we'll see you soon.